Today we're going to talk about how men can level up in 2026. And first of all, I want to give you a little bit of context here. Why should you listen to me, right? So I am 28 years old and I've been traveling the last 7 years in Europe, in Asia the last 2 years. I've been around poor people, I've been around rich people, I've been through many businesses. I run a business currently. I went to high paying 9 to 5 jobs, sales, tech, everything, earned good money, was broke. So I think with my 20 years of experience of life, I have definitely some perspectives to share. And this is going for the young guy who is in his teenies, in his 20s, in his 30s, could apply up to the 40s, right? So I open up with this. If you actually want to level up as a man this year in 2026, I give you here a real map. So it shouldn't be just motivation or hype, actual pillars where you should think about how can I improve myself in. We're going into health, fitness, relationship, business, and yes, women's too. So let's go through all of them. Pillar one is health. What you eat decides how you operate. Simple as that. I tried really hard when I was in my beginning of 20s to eat healthy. And we sometimes you don't even know what is healthy. I recommend you unprocessed over processed, whole foods over convenience. Yeah, don't try to go every day for fast food and the already packaged food in the supermarket. Do it for yourself. If you don't have good sources, right? I'm currently in Bali, right? I'm not cooking because the food is very affordable here and the quality is very good. So places like this make it easier. But I used to live in Germany. I used to live in the UK. And even when I was in Thailand, I rather cooked for myself, right? It depends where you can get food delivered, easy, but it's clean. And it starts with the oil. If they use seed oils and like this cheap oil, this will fuck you up. This will fuck up your gut, it fucks up your skin. It's bad. So go for good fats, real foods, food that fuels you. Yeah, not just food that fills you. It needs to have good nutrition in it, right? You want a good fats, you want a good carbs, you want a good proteins. Yeah, you can also eat Haribo the whole day. Yeah, gummy bears. They have also carbs. They have also some protein. Yeah, but the body can't convert this as good high quality meat, eggs, chicken, right? Fats from avocado, from extra virgin olive oil. All of this is important because this is directly correlated how your energy levels are, how you will operate day by day, right? You wake up and you have an energy box. And if you wake up and it's already drained because you didn't get good sleep, you didn't have the right, nutrition in you, like then you already, you know, then you already because you're competing against everybody else who wants the money, the woman, the you want, yeah, whatever you're trying to work on right now, somebody else will have the same goal as you or similar, and he will get it because he's maybe 100% charged every day, and you're just waking up foggy, need I don't know 2 3 hours until you're actually able to work and have clear thoughts, you know, that already starting fucking late. So health is the most important, right? You can't operate on a high level with garbage food, yeah, garbage fuel. So if you have to put like an hour a day to cook, do it because it's your brain, it's your gut, it's your organs who are getting fucked by the fast food, just because it's convenient. You're doing this to yourself. Be more mindful, and especially if you have goals to be more lean. We're going into this in the next pillar, fitness, but like, if you're overweight, then you should definitely look into more whole foods and, alternatives to whatever is out there. Depending where you're from, we are all coming from different cultures. For some cultures, it's normal to eat healthy and whatever. Some cultures, in the West, we are all already programmed to eat out. Uber Eats, Deliveroo, all these apps. What are you ordering there? It's fucking expensive. It's fucking garbage. So please be mindful what you put in your body, because what you put in your body is what you become. Next, fitness. You need to raise your fitness level if you're already not already like doing it 4 to 5 times a week. Depends how you train. I would go with at least 3 times a week, right? It depends on the intensity as well. But the point here is get lean and get strong. I would recommend train 4 times a week, right? It doesn't need always to be, the same area. You could also be, the fourth or fifth time a week. You could do stretching, mobility, active recovery, cardio. You know, I like to have multiple days in a week, right? Resting is important, yes, but I still see training as maybe I go for a mobility class, or I do some mobility exercises, or maybe get some steps in, you know. Um, just that every day your body is moving. I believe that is the best, even for the brain power, even for creativity, getting good thoughts. Just, be productive for in your day. It's very important just to move. And I myself did bodybuilding in the first probably 5 years. I doing fitness now, like seriously 10 years, but 5 years of them I was just like, bodybuilding, also a bit of football. But the bodybuilding made me super stiff. So after, I really wanted to get mobile again. I really wanted to get flexible. So I started with calisthenics and handstands, muscle ups, handstand push ups, all the good stuff. And I realized, okay, I'm a bit stiff. Even when I started with Muay Thai and, boxing, all of that, I felt like, okay, the bodybuilding is not really helping me. Got me muscle, got me strength, but now I have to undo a lot of things which, holding me back in other areas. So don't think only about getting muscular, looking strong. You want to be functional. And you could incorporate, high rocks or some like functional training where you gain muscle and also use your muscle properly. But those are ideas you discover for yourself. Of course, you want to build muscle first, but while you're doing this, already focus on stretching, already focus on maybe some calisthenics and body weight workouts and stuff like that. Move your body really, right? You don't want to be a fucking robot that will hurt you. You're getting more injuries if you're just ego lifting for, I want to get strong, I have the max weight on just to show off. Stupid. Leave that, right? Learn how to fight. Next thing, learn how to fight. Very important. I think as every man, we are naturally, our ancestors had to fight, right? We had to hunt. Um, we had to learn how to protect our family, ourselves. So I think learning how to fight goes back to our source, where we come from. So it's we should not to hurt somebody, but just to defend, right? And knowing that you're capable of protecting your wife, your kids, your family, your mother, whatever it is, right? I think fighting has also, in the fighting space, there's also taught a lot of respect. And most of the fighters, they are not fighting because they know how dangerous it is. So actually, learning how to fight, in my opinion, makes the you see a lot of fighters, they're not fighting in the street. They know how dangerous it is, and it makes no sense, right? They away from it. So yeah, that's my point on fight. Like, do boxing, do Muay Thai. It will teach you a lot about yourself, right? In these situations, you are getting tested. Don't be scared. If you're a beginner, just go into it, find yourself. When I started, I don't know, 7, 8 years, my first Muay Thai class, I looked like a dummy, and who cares? Now I do this for a couple of years, and I'm way better than everybody who didn't start at that point. So there's Everything you start, you will look stupid in the beginning. Accept it. It's totally fine. Nobody cares at the end of the day anyway. Nobody cares. Nobody goes in the gym and says, "Oh, look at them, fucking beginner." Nobody says that. So if the most thing is your mind stopping you to do it, stop doing it. I tell your own experience. If you're already going through that fear, you're already ahead of so many people. And this is just a small change you can apply today, and it makes you instantly ranking up, leveling up. That's the video about, right? Leveling up. And also play sports. Find some hobbies. If it's golf, if it's paddle, is a football, play sport, because it actually teaches you more than you think. It gives you drive. It gives you maybe ability to learn how to act in teams. How to cooperate, how to coordinate, all of this stuff which you probably never thought about because you just thought it's a game. It actually teaches a lot about it. It actually gives you depth in your character, right? So I think, same as in fighting, right? But like sports, like I would say football or whatever it is, basketball, everything which is like actually using your athleticism and your brain makes you better as a human. So find a sport you like, do it once a week, do it twice a week. It will help you, especially as a man. Makes you also more attractive because you have things going on, right? If you're having a good shape, you're strong, you know how to fight, you play football. That gives you a lot of things to do with, and people respect that. So I can recommend you doing this. And yeah, it's not always about looking good, even though it does. It makes you attractive, right? What I said, it makes you attractive to the opposite sex. Women see you as, oh, he does a lot of things, he's very disciplined. That's what they love, man, because most of them, they're not that disciplined. They don't have that testosterone, bro. They don't have that drive. They think, well, how can he work so much? He's working, he does a business, he does play football, he does Muay Thai, he goes to sauna, he goes to whatever, stretching yoga, he does calisthenics. He's like, wow, man, he's so multifaceted, he's so interesting, you know? That's well, bro. Like, doesn't you need to do everything what I do, but like it is to that. That's what I'm saying. It's more than that. It teaches you skills. It teaches you really things about yourself. And the discipline in these areas, fitness, is the discipline everywhere else. That will translate you. You get the confidence, the discipline. There's so much to it which you truly only understand if you went through it and you have the experience and you have the months and years in, and you actually see what it does to your life. And I can tell you all the great things about it, but if you don't act, then it will never apply to you. So in this case, act upon, find it for yourself, and find yourself in these things: health and fitness, very important. Now we're going into pillar 3, which is relationship and network. I had a big problem in my life to learn how to communicate, articulate my thoughts properly. That is something, it's so important. Even now, um, I'm it's practicing. I'm still doing it. I'm way better than when I started, but how to communicate and articulate your thoughts is one of the most important skills, right? If you're talking, if it's business or relationship, if it's with, meeting new people, your impression, how you speak to them, they will have an impression without you speaking already. But then it will be linked to what you say, how you say it, how you communicate, how you articulate your thoughts, whatever. It is so important in any rooms. So learn it. Um, the best thing is honestly just to record yourself. That is really the best thing because you can actually watch it, and it's to do it if you have no purpose around it. So when I started with social media, the last year ish, I exploded my communication skills, articulation, because now I'm seeing myself, I'm hearing myself, I'm doing it every day. And yeah, especially short form, well, we are about Instagram and we have to capture their attention very quickly. That taught me a lot because now I have to be I know what I say. I need to know what I say, how I articulate it, but also in a very concise, precise. I need to deliver it in a way that somebody will be caught and then also I retain them to the end. And that is the master class here nowadays on social media, especially if you only talk. So yeah. And also, very important, have an open mind. Go in conversations with no ego because everybody comes from a different environment, different culture, different upbringing. You will meet a lot of people where you come in with your opinions, with your thoughts, with your perspectives, and they will not resonate with it. They maybe have a different perspective. So do not try to fight with them. Try to understand them, where they come from, and then offer them a perspective to let them know like how you think. And maybe through that there could be a very fruitful where you learn something about yourself, about the topic, about other people, how they think, and you can actually take this with you and rethink what you have, your belief. Why do you actually have that belief? Is it actually your belief from your own experiences, or are these beliefs from other people they got inject to you by society, by school, by news, by friends and family, whatever it is? It's always good to check also your own belief. That's no ego. There's no, oh, you have an argument, I have an argument, I need to win it. And what taught me this was traveling, right? So I left my home country, Germany, before COVID, 2019. That's now 7 years ago. I traveled to UK. In between, I traveled, of course, through Europe. I've also family in Portugal, different culture. I've been living in Thailand for 18 months. I've been now twice to Bali, and I meet completely different people from different areas of, the map. And when you connect with these people, you see the world through more lenses. That is the very important thing. That's why I would always say, if you want to level up as well, you want to have great relationships and network and insights of how the world works from other lenses, travel. Because when you're like in the hometown or in your city, yeah, I mean, there's often the same perspective because you're living reality in the same, environment. But you can learn still through people because in big cities there's people coming and going, and it's like depending where you live, right? But if you're still with your number one people who you grown up with, it's hard to gain different perspectives. So I would really, really want everybody to take 6 months off, take a year off, whatever you can, even 3 months, to go somewhere and don't go to parties. Try to connect with digital nomads, business people, go to gyms, go to spas, go to social clubs, and try to connect with people with an open mind, you know? And then understand like what are they like thinking about, how can you actually add value to them. That would be the best if you want to really have a fruitful relationship where maybe they need something you know about or have a skill, so you could connect and maybe create a partnership or whatever. You don't need to come in with that mindset, but it's just things you can think about, things that could develop from there. So, but the most important thing is by traveling, knowing what people are coming from them and their perspectives. Very important. And don't do this without expecting anything back. It will always benefit you in the end. Always. If you're doing things to provide something to people as well who you might think, are insightful, they're doing great stuff, and you have an ability to give them value, do it. Don't think about what can I gain back from it. Just do it because even the energy transfer you give them something, they level up, and they will be so thankful to you in some ways, and some ways that it will come back, materialistic or spiritual, energy wise, you will get back. Like they could make your day by just saying, "Hey man, I implemented the thing you said, and it everything for me." And you wake up to a voice note or to a message which is super super grateful, and it makes you more powerful that day. Your day. So now with that energy today, you maybe create something for yourself or whatever it is. Just examples happen to me. Like just give will come back. Trust me. Doesn't need to always translate into money. It also translates in however you want to call it. I think you get me. Pillar four is business and skills. Is if you use your 9 to 5 to fuel your 5 to 9, you're doing it right. When I was in my job, 5 years, sales in tech, good paying job, I already was working, bro. I was working on that job like a maniac, and I was working outside of it. I was building my own businesses. I didn't want, I knew this is a good job. It gives me opportunities, it gives me good amount of money. I could go, the corporate ladder. I could, you know, get promoted, make more money, but like my freedom was more important. Doing the things what I do now is way more important to me. And I had a conversation last 2 days, I think, with a girl about this, and she asked me like, why did I leave my job when I was so good and I had so much opportunity and whatever. And I said, I think I wanted more. I wanted more of my life. And then she asked me, did you got more? I had to think, and then I said yes, 100%. Because the last 2 years not being in that job was I was able to find myself. I grew overcome so many fears. I grown so much. I with so many great people minds that it's amazing. It's that which the job couldn't offer me. It would probably help hold me back. So I want my life now on my terms. I stack the skills I need for myself and not what they need from me, and I build something real. So step number one is becoming an expert in a skill or industry. Step two, build a product or service inside that niche, whatever you choose, right? In that niche, you're gonna build a product or service to serve people, right? That's where you gain customers, and when you have customers, you have a business. Step number three, you provide real value to people in it, right? So become an expert, have a skill, or be an expert in an industry, build a product or service. Step three, provide real value, right? So these three steps. Then learn social media. Right now, it's the best tool for self growth and free marketing in 2026. For example, Instagram changed. You can blow up with 0 followers. You get instant clients. You get instant opportunities if you know how to make your reels, how to make your content. So I give you an example. I got banned 3 weeks ago on my main account, and I started two new accounts. One account instantly in the first week over 2,000 followers, over 1.2 million views. Next account also almost 1,000 followers, and it's all within a month. So I gained over 3,000 followers in less than a month because I learned from my first profile how to do it, how to craft a message. I knew what messages work. I know what, you know, and like making not even 30 days, 2 million views. That is not paid, just knowing how to do it. That is so valuable for your own brand, for your businesses, for your product, for your services. It's great. So learn how to craft a message that actually resonates with your audience. So important. And also, what it taught me, I always say social media is a because now you're overcoming the fear of rejection. To really consistently do it, you need to overcome the fear of rejection and the fear of what other people think. So every time I would post like 5 to 10 times a day, yeah, I mean, will I be probably yes, yes. Will I be judged if I don't do anything? Probably yes. So whatever you do, you will be judged. Understand this from the get go. If you give your control to other people, do it. I don't. I have the control in myself. So I produce, I create what I think is valuable, and if somebody doesn't like it, it's okay. It was never for him. Other people will like it, and I would attract the right people. It's a great filtering system. So do what you think and believe it's valuable to people. And also learning how to create organic content first is so important to your business because that is the foundation for paid ads later. If you're then in a spot where you want to invest to grow bigger and faster and scale, If you have organic content, you know it resonates, and you know it goes viral, and you put ads on it, the returns are going to be insane. So learn how to make organic content. If it's Instagram, YouTube, whatever, I would say short form and long form, it's the best. And the last pillar, guys, is women. Depending where you're at, most guys in their 20s focus on women too early, and they become distraction straight up. Most of us aren't ready for a real committed relationship, and that's just how it is. We need to understand ourselves first. In the beginning, you go for looks only because you don't really know what you want in a woman. So you go for who looks the best. And then you find out at some point, it actually doesn't work that well. Like, because even though she's pretty, she doesn't need to fit in your life. She doesn't need to be the one who's supporting you with your goals and, will be there for you and whatever. And have all the traits you actually want and need. So don't look at the most beautiful woman and get attached to her, because honestly, you go to places where, here in Bali, for example, there's so many pretty women, but I know 99% of them, they will be no good for me. They will be not good for me. So I keep myself in check. I work on myself, and I will attract the right women to me. I know that. And most of the women you will connect easily. They will just drawn to you naturally. Trust me, that's like energy can be sensed, and the right people along your way will be just thrown at you. And it's very hard to not acknowledge. So there's no need to chase women. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to chase women. Work on yourself, level up all the pillars before that, and then the real one uh, attracted to it, they will come to you, and it's already the best filtering. Yeah, but I know it will feel at the beginning like you're missing out because you're not going out, you're not going to parties, you're not going being around a lot of women. Yeah, so the women and the parties and all of that, that will be always there. Trust me. If you are leveling up, right, and you go into these rooms, you will be have more opportunities, more chances than if you're just trying now every time, every weekend to woman. No. Also, your energy, your focus, your brain power right now is at the peak. It's only here once. The woman will be always there, you know? So use that window to build yourself, level up, and the woman who are for you will be naturally be drawn to you. Trust me. There's no need to chase. Trust me really on this one. So yeah, that is basically all the 5 pillars I wanted to talk about today. That's the map: health, fitness, relationship, business, and then patience with women. Women are great. Women can really make you, but they can also break you. And in the beginning, you don't know which woman to choose. So it's the chance is that a woman will break you, because you will most likely, if you don't know yourself yet, pick the wrong one. So none of this is complicated. It all just takes reps, and it takes action, right? You can listen to this whole video and take all of this and then don't do anything. So you need to put in practice one pillar at a time, and if you can one or two, even better, right? Because what does the most successful people love? They love speed. If they have an idea, they act on it straight on. If you after this video have any idea what you want to do, and I already resonated with a couple of things, put it in action straight away. Don't fuck around, put it in action, because time, bro, is so valuable. Time you will never get back. So put it in action, and the sooner you get to your dreams. So guys, this is a bit of a different video today. Subscribe for more on building the actual version of yourself. I will probably give you more insights and videos like that, because it builds you, man. That's what I have to talk about, and it's my own experience as well, where I love to share this. It would help me if I have somebody like this when I was coming up and telling me this stuff. But so, guys, subscribe to my channel again, and give me a like and a comment. Give me feedback on that. It's a bit of a different video today, so I want to see if they resonated and how you can, what is resonating as well. So, guys, thank you. Peace out. Have a good one.